Hi guys, it's Heather from Tech again with this month's YA Book Club. Yay! Of course, this month I had chosen different takes on like Arthurian legend and that kind of thing because as I said, I'm a nerd for it. So, without further ado, let's get into it. So, our first book is Merlin the Lost Years by T.A. Barron. So I actually read most of this series several years ago, and I actually need to go back and read the whole series. I was reading it as it got published, and I kind of lost track. But this starts with Merlin before the legend of King Arthur. So this follows him from a very young boy, and the whole series sort of, I believe, takes him up to when he meets Arthur. Let me give you the premise of this book. A raging sea tosses a boy upon the shores of ancient Wales. Left for dead, he has no memory, no name, and no home. But it is his determination to find out who he is, to learn the truth about his mysterious powers, that leads him to a strange and enchanted land. And it is there he discovers that the fate of this land and his personal quest are strangely entwined. If you liked Harry Potter, you'll love this. I think it's honestly a little better. It goes a lot more into like world building, really plays in with like old legends and myths. It's a really great series. And there's like 9 books. It gets a little confusing when you look at the Goodreads. It does explain it. They took the original 9-book series and sort of split it into 3 smaller trilogies. But that doesn't really matter. It just may get a little confusing when you try to look them up in our system because some of the titles they have changed technically, but always feel free to call. I can definitely help you figure out which is which. On to the next. This one is called Once and Future by Amy Rose Capetta and Corey McCarthy. It's a fairly new one. It's from the James Patterson Presents. If you like James Patterson series, he kind of has started recommending new authors. So, when Ari crash lands on Earth and pulls a magic sword from its ancient resting place, she's revealed to be the newest reincarnation of King Arthur. Then she meets Merlin, who has aged backwards over the centuries into a teen, and together they must break the curse that keeps Arthur coming back. Their quest? Defeat the cruel, oppressive government and bring peace and equality to all. No pressure. This one's really neat because it's kind of like a sci-fi take on the legend of King Arthur. Like, some of it takes place in space. They're battling an evil corporation. I mean, it sounds like a really cool book. It's been on my to-read list forever because my to-read list grows and grows and grows, especially the more I do this. So, and I always love the take of King Arthur being a girl. Always makes things fun. On to the next. If you have been watching my new YA books videos, this one will probably seem familiar because it is a very recent release. Actually, September, so very recent. It is Legendborn by Tracy Deonn. So, all Bree wants to do is build her future and forget her past. Her plans are upended, though, when she witnesses a magical attack. This brings her into contact with the Legendborn, those who claim to be descendants of the Knights of the Round Table. She finds out that they may have had something to do with her mom's death. She allies herself with a former member to investigate and finds more than she bargained for. Another really cool thing about this book is it actually takes place in Chapel Hill. She's doing a summer program for high schoolers at UNC Chapel Hill, so that is a fun little factoid. And again, a very interesting take on Arthurian legend, but this time brought into modern day. On to the next, which is also another that has lived on my to-read list for quite a while. The second book in this series actually just recently came out. And this one is The Gwenevere Deception by Kiersten White. And that cover's really cool. So, Princess Gwenevere has come to Camelot to wed a stranger, the charismatic King Arthur. With magic clawing at the borders, the great wizard Merlin conjured a solution, sending Gwenevere to be Arthur's wife and his protector. The catch? Guinevere's real name and true identity is a secret. She is a changeling, a girl who has given up everything to protect Camelot. To keep Arthur safe, she must navigate a court in turmoil. It sounds really cool. I mean, it's another fun take kind of on the classic Arthurian legend with a bit more focus on Gwenevere than like King Arthur or the knights. There's a reason it's on my to read list. Sounds like there's a little bit of mystery as well. So yeah, another option. And here comes another one. I think this one just had a sequel come out as well. There's a lot of sequels coming out recently. I guess it's kind of a normal thing, like as you do series, sequels just keep coming. But this one is Wicked As You Wish by Rin Chupeco. It's a really cool cover. So, many years ago, the magical kingdom of Avalon was left encased in ice when the Snow Queen waged war. Its people are now refugees in a world without magic, mostly. That includes the Crown Prince Alexei, sole survivor of the royal family. His best friend Hala is one of the few who know his identity. Hope is reignited when the legendary Flame Bird appears. Alex and Hala must unite with a ragtag group of new friends to go back to Avalon for a final showdown. I thought this was cool because it takes the focus kind of off King Arthur, but we're focused on like the Kingdom of Avalon, which in case you're not super familiar with King Arthur's legend, like Avalon is supposed to be like this otherworldly realm that like Merlin is from, like the Lady of the Lake, and so Excalibur is like a relic of Avalon. It's a magical place. Sounds like a really cool book. Some of it takes place like, I think it's Arizona or New Mexico. So fun. All right, and then last, but certainly not least, this is like a second part of a series. I got a little confused when I was looking at this book, I'm not gonna lie. It's part of the School for Good and Evil series, but this is like the second part of this series, like its own little sub-series, the Camelot series, which is why I chose it. And this one is Quest for Glory. It's the first in that sort of like second series that's part of this series and has the same name. Sometimes I wish authors would make more distinctions between their series, even if they are related to each other. But off my little soapbox, let's talk about the story. So this is a continuation of a previous trilogy. The students at the School for Good and Evil thought they were done. Now they must complete their required fourth-year quest. For their quest, Agatha and Tadros are trying to return to Camelot to its former splendor as its king and queen. Meanwhile, Dean Sophie's quest is to mold evil in her own image. Who will win, or will they all lose? So, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not entirely sure you need to have read the original trilogy. I tried to look on Goodreads and kind of get some comments. I don't think you need to. Usually, like, especially authors that are writing longer series will sort of give you like information about what has happened, especially when it's like a second part series. But yeah, that is this month's book club picks, at least 6 of them. There will be more, of course, on the Goodreads Virtual Display and in our discussion board. Please, of course, feel free to come and chat in the discussion board. Talk books with me. Tell me what you like, what you didn't like. If you have any suggestions for themes for a 1 month's book club, I am more than happy to hear them, because I'm not gonna lie, I'm starting to kind of run out of ideas. We're gonna start revisiting some is what's gonna happen. I'll just pick new books and it'll be great. So January's book club, I think we are going to do like books based on comic books. So I know there is a DC Icon series that I'm definitely going to pull, especially since there is a new one coming out soon that's based on the Black Canary. Super exciting. And then I'll probably try and pull some others, and then of course some actual comic books, because I'm sorry I did not get you a graphic novel this time. I tried to, but unfortunately it had gone missing, and I didn't want to do the King Arthur one again since I'd just recently done that. So that is it for this month. Keep an eye out for next month's, and as the November new YA book video. There's probably going to be a little bit of a delay just with the holiday and me trying to get my hands on the new books. But other than that, as always, have fun and keep reading, and I'll see you next time. Bye!